the Wonder Box with me today. Yay, it's been a little while, and I know we have some new folks today who maybe haven't seen or experienced the wonder of the Wonder Box. But we're gonna try it today. So what's gonna happen is there's something in here. I'm gonna shake it, and we're gonna guess what's inside. Are you ready? Something kind of heavy. Ooh, that's a better shake. Yes. Rock. It's almost never rocks, right? We've done this. Is that Faye? What do you think? Well, same as him. Good guess. I like the community, but it's not rocks. Cece. Tools. We're gonna keep guessing, but you're right on the right track. Yes. An apple. It kind of sounds like an apple. Yes. Over here. Go ahead. A fake hammer. Ooh. Very specific. Okay, I'm going to stop now because we've gotten very close. It is not a fake hammer. It is a real hammer. Oh, my goodness. It's a real hammer. So our Soul Matters theme this month is repair. And I have a story today about someone who uses a hammer. So this is a story from the oral tradition in America. This is an American oral history story. And it goes like this. Once there were two brothers. And these brothers, they were super, super close. They were best friends in addition to being brothers. They grew up together, obviously. They played together. They hung out together. They did everything they could together. And when it came time, when they were old enough to leave their parents' house, they bought farms right next to each other. And they raised their families together. They shared their land. They shared their tools. They shared their time. Their families ate meals together. Both brothers had chickens, and the chickens just roamed back and forth between the two farms. No one really knew whose chickens were whose, but everybody had eggs to eat. It was wonderful. And then one day, they had a disagreement. Raise your hand if you've had a disagreement. I've had disagreements with people, yeah. They had a disagreement, and unfortunately, they couldn't figure out how to resolve this disagreement. And the disagreement grew into an argument. And the argument grew bitter, and the bitterness filled their hearts to the point where they stopped talking. They stopped sharing their tools. They stopped sharing their land. They told their kids not to play with their cousins anymore. They wanted nothing to do with each other. It got so bad that the younger brother took out his backhoe and he dug a giant trench between the two farms. He connected the trench to the lake and the stream, and now there was a creek separating the two farms. No one was happy. One day, shortly after the younger brother had dug this creek, there was a knock at the older brother's door. And when he opened the door, there was a woman standing there, and she was wearing overalls and a tool belt. And she said, "I'm a carpenter. I'm looking for work in the area. Do you have any projects that you need done?" Now, the older brother, he usually did work around the farm. He didn't really need to hire a carpenter, but as he was standing there and this woman was right in front of him, he could see his younger brother's property. He could see his house over there. And he thought, I don't want to look at that anymore. So he told the carpenter, yes, I need a fence. I need you to build a tall, long fence that completely blocks me from being able to see my brother's property over there. I don't want to look at that guy anymore. And the carpenter said, I understand. I know exactly what to do. And she went to her truck and she got out her supplies. And the older brother, he had some errands to run in town, so he left. He was gone all day. When he came back, he was very surprised because there was not a fence there. There was a bridge. It was a beautiful bridge. It was like wide on the ends and then kind of a little closer together in the middle and then wide on the other end. It had like intricate woodwork and scrolling on the handrails. There is no way that carpenter could have made that bridge in just a few hours. It was so well made. And the older brother was very impressed by how well made, how beautiful this bridge was, but also it was not what he had wanted. And so he was about to say to the carpenter, this isn't what I wanted, when he saw his younger brother coming toward the bridge. The younger brother stood at the end of the bridge that was on his land and said, "Oh, my brother, I am so sorry. Look at this. You have created a bridge to my home. You are showing me love, and I have shown you nothing but hatred and cruelty. Please, please forgive me." And the younger brother walked to the center of the bridge. And the older brother looked into his brother's eyes and said, "No, it is I who has wronged you. I said bad things, and I don't know how we ended up in this. Will you please forgive me?" And the brothers met at the center of the bridge, and they embraced, and they cried, and they laughed, and they hugged, and they laughed, and they cried, and they forgave each other. And they turned to the carpenter. They both wanted to do something very nice for the carpenter who had helped them figure this all out, who had helped them come back together. And they said, "We have projects around the farms. We could hire you. We would pay you well. Can you stay here and do some more work for us?" And the carpenter said, "That is very kind of you. That's a lovely offer, but I must go. I have many more fences to build." Thank you for listening to my story this morning.